Modern Rock 98.7, Max here from the Morning Alternative, and we've got a very special guest on the phone with us, Mr. Rome Ramirez from Sublime with Rome, lead singer and guitarist. Rome, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It must have been super exciting for you guys, or for you, getting to go tour with Sublime, right? What was that like when you first joined the band?
It was like mind-changing, life-changing, mind-blowing. That's mind-changing. No, it was, like everything changed in my life. So it was definitely a big decision where, it was like, are you ready to change everything you know? And I said, hell yeah.
Yeah, right. So you guys got the new album, Sirens, been out for about a year. I know you guys approached this album a little bit differently than you normally, or you did with your first album at least. You got the new drummer, Josh, I believe is his name. How was the recording process and the writing process different than the first album? Because it's got a little bit different of a feel, this new album.
Yeah, I guess really what it was the difference of knowing somebody for like, a year and a half, 2 years, as opposed to like 8 years.
Yeah.
So, me and Eric just got a lot more comfortable and were able to just open up a little more creatively and express our ideas and opinions a little bit more liberally. So, it's kind of rad. And I think with the fact that, it's just us two, like we're very, very easy to communicate and just sit down and just, get where we want to go. For Sirens, that's kind of what we did, was just sit in the room and just like old school days and just put together a song from ground up. And we recorded it live as a band like that in a couple takes, and then just chose the ones we liked. And if we wanted to stack a sample or something on it, then we would. But we caught the majority of the song live.
That's awesome. So, how did the decision to work with the Dirty Heads on that song Sirens come about?
Those are my boys.
And
I had an extra verse, and I thought that it would be, or extra 2 verses. And I'm not sure if I was just too lazy to write stuff, or the beat was just like perfect, but I just kind of thought, I was like, who would sound really good on this? The Dirty Heads. So I told Jared separately and told Duddy separately, the 2 singers, and they casually brought it up amongst themselves. They were like, oh yeah, Rome asked me to be on this dope-ass track called Sirens. And Jared's like, I've already written a verse for that. So then they both went back in and made sure their verses were like even better.
Yeah, like a little bit of competition between them or something?
Yeah, but they didn't even know that I was going to use both of them. So.
That's hilarious. So you guys are touring right now, obviously. Is this been hard, kind of a tiring time, like touring like this? Or is this where you feel the most comfortable,
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's cool, man. Like, I'm not one of those artists who, hate touring. Like, I actually 100% love it. Like, it's a lot of fun, and you get to meet a lot of really rad people, and you get to hear like a lot of dope stories from the fans. And I don't know, man. You meet a lot of good people on the road, and I've always been the guy who likes to hang out with his crew of friends anyway. Like, I've always had the house with all the homies. So, like, being on the road is just that every day. Like, you're just rolling with your crew, your dudes.
Yeah.
And you guys just, you do stuff, you have fun. You see places, you experience things. You smoke local weed, you drink local brew. It's like...
Life's good, man, yeah. So, you guys been getting good reactions from the crowd and everything, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's a... if you don't take your stuff seriously, then neither will your fans. But all our fans know that we're great players and we respect the music, and we're just up there because of them and just having a good time. And I think that they see that. They definitely feel.
Oh hell yeah, man! What's what would you say is your favorite Sublime song to cover?
Yeah, probably Seed. It's like a really fast, kind of track, and it's different because it goes into some cool surf elements that not even Sublime does a lot, but when they do it, it's very tasteful. Yeah, it's rad.
Nice, yeah, that's awesome, dude. So, what bands are you listening to right now that are kind of inspiring you?
Well, lately I've been listening to the Schoolboy Q album. That's a really good one. I listened to the new Travis Scott album. There's a couple songs on it that I like. Nothing like I didn't really like it. I feel like he's more of a single cat, but
Yeah.
whatever. And then there's this rock band out of LA that I'm really, really stuck on. They're called Blacktop Queen, and they're really, really good. You can check them out on SoundCloud.
Yeah, dude, I've actually checked those guys out before. They rock, man.
Yeah, they're really good. Those are my buddies. I started working in the studio with them like a couple months ago after I became a fan. I was just like, who are these guys? You're so good. And my publisher was like, you want to do a studio session with them? And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, so I've heard that you've been doing like a little bit of producing. How's that going?
That's good, man. I mean, I've been writing and producing for a while, but I moved out to Hollywood just recently and got like a big house out here and put a bunch of studios in it. And I have like all of my signed producers working on music pretty much all day long, and we're just pumping out tunes. So it's cool, man.
Killer.
Keeping it progressive and keeping our ear to the streets and working with the youth, and you know, it definitely keeps you moving forward. You know, it's not like a numbers game. It's it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Oh, I hear you, man. Yeah. So like, how are you as Rome growing as like a songwriter? You know, apart from Sublime With Rome.
I mean, I don't really have a life, so that's all I do is write songs.
Yeah.
All day. Like everybody, knows me like on stage and on the road, and they probably think I go home and like go skateboarding and fishing or something. I don't know. But, and I do love both, but the reality of the situation is like, I run a publishing company and a label, and I'm just constantly in the recording studio all day long, every day. We'll do probably like 300 to 400 songs a year.
Wow, dude.
And obviously not all of them are getting placed, but, those are good odds. And, we do have a good amount of output. And for the songs that don't go anywhere or get heard, eventually they find their home. And, that's just kind of like what it is. But we don't, like, I don't know, for me specifically, this is like all I know how to do is write music. So
Yeah, I hear you.
Every day I just like learn more and more and more. It's like my passion and my hobby at the same time. Like I'm just always like in write mode, you know what I mean? Like I'm always constantly like, one thing that I do want to focus on more is setting aside time to just go and write a song somewhere else. Because it's usually so like, in the moment, like I can write a song in my head and then I'll just, put it down on my phone or whatever. I started carrying like a little book now, so I just been writing things in that. But
dude, so like going back to Sirens, the latest album from Sublime With Rome, like do you have a favorite song, favorite track on that one?
Yeah, my favorite track on that album has probably been Losing Sleep. I think that track's hard.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you guys coming to Wilmington, North Carolina. We're out of Wilmington here on November the 4th. I don't know, have you guys ever been down to Wilmington, North Carolina?
Yeah. You know what? That's crazy. My homegirl Erica lives out there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're really looking forward to it. It's a great venue down here in Wilmington, and we're real excited about that. What would you say like is the next step for Sublime With Rome? You guys got more music coming, or like when can we expect something new?
Yeah, we're getting into the studio pretty much before the year ends, or at the very top of the year, and just putting together probably like another LP. I mean, we're gonna call it an EP, but that's how it always goes. We try to say we're gonna do an EP, then we get in the zone and more songs start coming out. So we're like, let's just do an album. But yeah, we're gonna be putting out music soon. Probably gonna be dropping a single definitely within the next couple of months, or I'm gonna shoot somebody.
Well, yeah, we're looking forward to that, man. We can't wait to have you down here in Wilmington coming up on November the 4th, man. And thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother.